Hello guys, welcome back to Car Obsession and welcome once more to Bella, my FIAT Seicento Sporting. Now there's a good chance this won't be the first video you would have seen on this little car, but it is the first video I'm filming with Bella. The reason why I'm doing it in this order is because before I give her a proper drive, I want to give her a good service and a good check over to make sure there's nothing majorly wrong with the car, which I don't think there will be. I have driven her, she drives okay, the brakes are a little bit rubbish, but they can be easily sorted. And one thing I did notice this morning, annoyingly, the horn isn't working, which in the UK, of course, is an MOT failure. So that will need addressing at some point, well, quite quickly really. Hopefully it's just a case of replacing the horn. I'll try to have a little route around today to see if I can find anything obviously wrong. If it's an issue with the wiring, then that's going to be above my pay grade. Speaking of which, I may work in a car repair garage, but my disclaimer is this: I'm not a trained mechanic. I'm part of the office staff here and I'm lucky enough to have use of the facilities. So this isn't strictly a how-to video, but if you do learn something new, then of course that is fantastic. Because these cars are quite old and they're before the YouTube generation, there isn't a massive amount of content on these little cars, not unless you follow Miller Corner, of course. There's a good chance that Miller Corner led you to my channel. Hello, my name's Aaron, thank you for joining me. But if you do learn something from this video, then of course that's great. So what am I doing today? So engine oil, filter, air filter, spark plugs, and the ignition leads are probably okay, but for the sake of a few quid, may as well replace them as well. So yes, without further ado, let's get cracking.
I did give Bella a bit of a check over, but I didn't want to document too much of that as I'm hoping to take her to a FIAT specialist. They'll give her a good look over and of course I'll film the process, so be sure to keep your eyes peeled for that one. I did however notice an oil leak as well as a coolant leak, so I'll need to keep an eye on both of those. To undo the sump bung, you'll need a 20mm Allen key or hex bit.
I can see the issue with the horn, or potential issue with the horn. I've spotted it very quickly. Look, can you see it? Look. So that is the horn right there. And as you can see, one of the wires it's quite a clean break. It almost looks like it's been cut, which would be quite unusual. So I'll have to see if I can get one of the guys to repair that. So hopefully that's the only thing causing the issue with the horn. So I'm hoping that's quite a nice, easy fix. But yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of road crap and debris in the fog lights, so I might remove those, see what's going on. I think what I'm going to do now before I forget to do it is to remove the oil filter, so I will do that.
As you can see, getting the old filter off was a bit of a challenge.
So the old filter is out. I think the last person to fit it must have been the Incredible Hulk, because yeah, I've had to, it's quite mangled where I've had to take it off. So if I just zoom you guys in, hopefully you'll see how battered the filter has become trying to take it out. So yeah, needless to say, I think that may have been a little bit too tight.
With the new sump bung installed, I tightened it to 50 Nm, that's 37 pound-feet. Time for the new oil, which in the case of this engine is 3.5 litres of 10W40. Next up was the air filter, which as you will see is a piece of cake. The old filter was still in pretty good shape apart from one edge that had been squashed due to previous fitment. Replacement of the filter is as easy and as straightforward as the removal. I moved on to the spark plugs after that, but seeing as the airbox has to be disassembled, it probably would have made more sense to do the spark plugs before the air filter, but never mind. The spark plugs were torqued to 27 Newton meters, which is 20 pound-feet. The ignition leads were a bit fiddly and the new ones were actually longer than the original, so I had to ring the supplier to make sure they were correct, which wasted a bit more time than I would have wanted. It turns out they were correct though. With the service work done, it was time to have a look at the driver's side wiper, which I noticed was very wobbly when operated. Upon removing the wiper arm, annoyingly the linkage fell into the scuttle, so I had to waste time fishing it out. Once retrieved, it was a simple case of refitting the wiper arm, but tightening it more securely than it was before. It still isn't great, but it is a lot better than it was, and I don't have to fear about the wiper flying off whilst I'm driving on the motorway.
So there we have it, the service has been carried out on Bella, and as you can see I've got a few things to add to my to-do list. I will keep an eye on the coolant leak because I do want to do 1 or 2 road trips in Bella and I don't want to be caught short with the engine overheating problems. The horn should hopefully be a simplistic repair, just a case of repairing the wiring and possibly replacing the connector plug, so fingers crossed there. The wiper blade, the offside front wiper blade, I have rectified it. Kind of. So where the wiper arm mounts to the body, it's corroded. So I suspect the problem will keep coming back and I'll just have to keep retightening the fixing down for the arm. But all in all, quite successful. I'll be honest, I went into this not really knowing how to service this car because I'm waiting for the Haynes manual to arrive. At the point of filming this video is actually just before Christmas, but by the time you watch it, it will probably be February, March maybe. But yes, at present, the Haynes manual will be coming after Christmas because of course postage and so forth. But as you can see, servicing this car is pretty simplistic. I would argue it's self-explanatory, it's quite straightforward. If you have learnt something from this video though, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you've enjoyed the video or you found it useful, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. If you are subscribed, don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified every time I make a video. If there's any particular content you want to see with Bella, let me know, but just be aware my budget at the moment is quite small. So yeah, I haven't got the biggest of resources when it comes to finance, but any ideas, chuck them my way and I'll see whether or not they're possible. Anyway guys, until the next time guys, be sure to keep up the car obsession.